very similar. Both players come back, takes them ages to get back to their previous form. So anyway, well, I'm sure we'll talk about that
Part of
more
it's
later.
the mental side of that, but yeah, we can get into that later as the pistol round has begun.
It's like a very quick split of the B bomb site. Lekro moving towards the monster position with Flusher in tow. And there's a CT water taken as well, but FaZe look prepared for this. There is the man exist. In the graffiti position. Guardian's quickly taken possession of short B, and here comes Rain. But what do you check for Flusher? He's got a super off angle straight in the face from Flusher.
Well, it's looking quite nice, isn't it, for the Swedish lads? And it's Fnatic. Geared up pretty well to defend this, just existing Karrigan. And they will be taken down pretty easily here. Not much Karrigan can do. He'll save his kits and his smoke.
Those are so hard to stop. I've been that graffiti guy in so many positions. Did he actually, Zist wasn't the first guy to go down. I think it was Nico. But, oh man, if you don't hit that first shot of those Glocks swinging out the sandbag and monster there, it is so incredibly hard to stop that basic pop. Unless you have like maybe a guy hiding barrel head down and some bait and switch set up, it's so easy to lose that sight in a split second. And obviously if Rain checks that corner on the flank, maybe they still can retake it, but that initial breach, super hard to stop with the speed with the Glocks running and shooting.
I learned the Molotov for A site stairs from watching your broadcast, Jordan.
One off the wall.
I love your broadcast. Actually, it's kind of hilarious that we both stream in similar ways. Obviously, yours is going to be a lot more informal than mine. Sorry, information heavy.
Well,
whatever.
it's anecdotal.
But yeah, like we both just talk about what we're trying to do and what we expect and what we're trying to manage, blah 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 blah. But it's
actually,
cool.
I'm posting on my YouTube the matchmake I did with you. Like I haven't posted in a couple weeks, so I have like 6 videos edited.
Okay.
So I have a couple of my road to globals, and since you played matchmake with me, I'm uploading one of them.
Boom, let's do it.
So you're on the next one of the next episodes.
Nice.
Nice.
Now I've got an even stronger machine to play from. I've got that consistent FPS now. Well, he'll let the first person pass, and Lekro will politely close the door, but they still have no success because Nico's on short B with the Deagle.
Yeah, you can do a lot of damage from this position. Just one more 1D, and life becomes pretty impossible to get the bomb down and defend it at the same time. FaZe positioning themselves. Ooh, nicely done by Flusher, taking out Exist. One will go down, but there's someone sneaking up behind from Monster. Will they be able to defend? Guardian goes down, so Golden will deal with that flank. And perhaps the chances for FaZe are starting to diminish rapidly now, as they don't have too much going for themselves. When coming in from the back, some good post-plant positions from Fnatic, but that is a stunning shot from Nico. And he's going to be pressuring the bomb here straight into the water as well, leaving Flush in a 1v1 against Rain. There's no kit for Rain, so life is very difficult indeed. So Flusher has very likely done enough here. And Rain will just try to get this kill, but he will be denied. It's actually much closer into the round than I thought.
Well, I don't know. Did you think Nico and FaZe are gonna have it easier, or Fnatic?
Yeah, I thought Fnatic would be kind of fine from the it's like a 4v3.
I was not sure though. You give Nico that space sandbag, it almost reminds me of the Dupree Deagle Ace from the same spot. But Nico,
it's true. I guess it is Nico we're talking about.
Yeah, and actually I was surprised by the post plan setup of Fnatic to be so bunched there, because if FaZe doesn't assume they're so bunched, you saw Nico just jump to the smoke. They might have actually ended up in a 2v1 at the end there versus Flusha. But because they were so bunched, trade happened. But
interestingly, both these teams have lost their last 3 matches, and both of their last losses were on Overpass. Also, FaZe dropped Overpass twice in the last 3 matches to North and NIP. Close to fair with Ninjas in Pyjamas, but it seems they got smashed by North, who aren't really having the best of times either. So, seems pretty wide open as to who might win this one. 3 FaZe players rotating. So, am I mistaken, or does Flusher only have a USP in this round? Which is fine. If you're expecting no CTs to have helmets, which, unless they're crazy, they wouldn't have.
I had to explain that actually yesterday on stream. Now it's funny that you mention it. People were asking why on some anti-eco rounds the Ts will just rush. And I was like, well, normally if you win the pistol as a T, the CTs, depending on the map, will have everyone but their sniper usually forced by the second round. Occasionally teams, I don't know if you saw us do it last year, where we actually force bot the third round just to kind of throw them off, making them think we were double saving. And we actually had like a pretty good pop flash forced armor setup. But anyways, the reason being, normally people force by that second round, so that they play more slow as a T, use their Molotov, flush them out. But then that third round, you just kind of pick up the pace and don't waste as much nades because you're fighting pistols with no armor or anything. So just for the viewers out there, that was on my stream yesterday. Coincidence.
Guardian is AWP, no Kevlar in the first round. He's naked. Rain surely will be heard by JW, but JW can't draw his gun in time. Golden hunting for a trade frag, but they will start to back off. Rain looks like he'll offer some support to Guardian, but Guardian's got to be careful about these grenades in his forward position. Meanwhile, Fnatic are responding in kind, charging in towards the B bomb site, looking for an opening which they're not getting, and the counter flashes keep coming from FaZe.
Crims will try to make his way forwards. Can he find anyone though? They're all over the place here. One going down by water, but the trades are coming in pretty effectively for the CTs. Flush with a lot of work to do. Can only get one frag out of that as Golden now tries to step up to the plate, but it's a tall order and the bomb needs to be recovered as well. All the CTs know exactly where he is. Golden needs to hit every shot and he won't. Carrigan will take him down for FaZe's first round, and that's pretty nice, only losing 2 players.
I actually really liked the reaction there from Fnatic to quickly Molotov the barrel when they realized they had lost one of their AD falters. A big part of T-side on this map is map control, and if you lose that map control, too often we see teams who aren't kind of aware enough will lose their map control on the A side, but they're still going slow towards B. That's where you'll see something like the famous Fur Flank just completely destroy a team. Not even the fact that he's getting kills, but because the team stacked B. Fnatic took really quick initiative to get B, but obviously they didn't have Heaven smoke. They weren't able to scale with that comfort of having water control as well. So they didn't win the round, but it's still a really cool reaction. You could tell Fnatic is has a good game plan on this map, good decisiveness.
Seems FaZe were perhaps expecting a high probability of a fast B play. They still have 3 people in B for the time being, content with Guardian and Rain around A. And it's interesting, now that his rifle support, Guardian's rifle support is towards the long position, how Guardian approaches the toilet area on his own, how long he stays on the outside, what his concerns are with the inside. Spotting flush outside connector, and that's not a good place to stand. Very common spot for an AWPer on that small bed of grass, which allows him to flick towards connector as well. Sorry, the pop out of toilets, holding the line on connector.
Fnatic with very few options here. 3 versus 5, ill-equipped, almost no utility. Perhaps they are just thinking about getting some damage in here. Just keep the pressure on FaZe's economy. Can't really, you really don't want to let them survive with 5 players. And there you go, Golden will take down 1. Lekra unable to get a kill onto Nico. Nico, oh, beautiful move in there, sliding along. Now it's down to Crims to do the heavy lifting, the only player with any health really. Golden jumps into the water. It's actually the one with the bomb. Another nice frag actually. They can make this round actually work. It's a post plant, 1v2 for Crims. Another frag going the way of Crims as now it's down to Guardian. He's got an AWP. He's not on the angle just yet. Does Crims have any idea? Crims has been... Oh! It's been so good!
Frederick!
And he just continues in form. His level the last few months has been absolutely godlike.
And you love to see it too. Crims is such one of those, as someone who played against him, you just, every corner you felt like you had to check versus this guy because he's always so patient and yet so deadly with his aim. That round, first we got to see Rain exhibit his godlike, individual awareness at bathroom. Yeah. And Guardian is so powerful at A, but then Fnatic with that individual skills circa 2015 kind of coming back to win him rounds. It's fun to watch.
Crims is nasty, man. He is nasty. FaZe reset. A grey button on a Super Nintendo has been pressed.
For the red ring of death.
Well, we'll see if it's a red ring of death a bit later on, but perhaps there's still a chance for them to come back. So far, so good for FaZe with a pistol kill and an AK picked up, no less. No Kevlar, though, on any of these players. That will make a difference in these exchanges. Lekro trying to change up his angle. Smoke will certainly contain FaZe for now. Now they might have to just consider saving this AK. Not really in position for a retake, especially with that smoke down on connector. So again, at this point, you might want to go early warning system. The plebs of the USPs can keep the Ts away from the AK. can still stand on those balloons. Concrete balloons.
Valve. Help.
I feel like they should move just a little bit. It looks so weird that they're just like...
FPS, mate. Leave them still.
It's
FPS,
just-
FPS.
It reminds me of in CS Source, it was so bad for FPS because they had their fancy physics engine, and they just decided to put like so many objects on the map which could just
Rolling barrels.
just the stuff's just rolling all over the place, and just your FPS is just getting absolutely ruined.
You guys remember the famous clip where we had pause in the beginning of the game, but the train was still on its normal rotation time? And right when I came out of spawn, it was like ESL low, and I just come to throw this molly to sandbag, and the train just flies by and it hits.
Oh my
I was like, are you
gosh,
kidding me?
yeah. Oh my god.
They can make that like non-clipping as well.
Oh, no! Nico!
Did he? What happened there?
What did he throw?
He threw a flash, I think.
Nico, have you ever heard of the Summit? The streamer Summit? Okay, I've been doing that one, but it was gonna be fun.
Oh,
It's like his binds are the wrong way around or something. He messed it up. Wow.
Yeah, that looks like you're exactly right.
That's so strange.
Well, let's see if Fnatic can
gosh.
capitalize on this. Flusher getting information as well as the kill, and
It's like
Lecro's
Call
here.
of Duty right there. Jumps around the corner of the Mac 10 midair.
JW surely gets a kill here. Not looking good for FaZe in round number 7. Ooh. Some players made his way down. Guardian hasn't been detected just yet, but he's got a better angle. Seems it'll be Guardian on this occasion. JW looking towards the balcony, but too late. Can Guardian keep his team in the game? We've seen him do ridiculous things on B before, but Lecro says no. Rain's blind, Rain's gone. 6-1 Fnatic.
Guardian, you know who he reminds me of? I don't know if you guys watch 1.6 much, but is Fraud. He's got that very, like, you would almost think Guardian doesn't have good movement if you just watched him, like, tune in for one time, maybe watch a certain way he, like, navigates himself, Nico. but Guardian is such a snake. He just slithers in, like, that little play out heaven, and the route he took. He's really underrated, I think, with his movement. Not underrated in general, but in that regard, yeah.
Yeah.
Golden, hey, bud.
Here we go. I like that, disposing of the second AWP. Not feeling compelled to use it. Smart decision.
The old bait and switch coming. Does Flush a fall for her, boys?
Flush is too smart.
Oh.
Flush knows everything.
Guardian could just sense Flush. He's like, I'm leaving.
It's a good place for a knife kill when you're on eco. People get too confident, don't check it. Bardock comes out with a knife.
Bardock comes out the Zeus. Drops on their dome.
I knifed 2 people last night. I streamed 3 matches of the Mythic League. Managed to knife 2 people at once. It was great.
We should get production here making Bardolph highlights on the stream.
I should actually. Our video editor wants to make a frag video for me.
Someone subscribed to me last night called James Yet to Frag Bardolph.
Really?
And I was like, James?
It wasn't
He's
me.
like, no, just a fan. And I was like, oh.
That's pretty funny.
Thank you, Henry G.
Woo! Guardian. About to get cut off guard.
Nice.
Thanks.
Interesting smoke from the T side on A long, and I wonder what FaZe read of this. In fact, they're rotating to B, so might not have particularly worked out, but the round will anyway. And these Mac 10s might continue. I'm very curious to see. I reckon at least one will.
The score is getting out of hand.
When you have a site like B, like, if you have a couple good flashes, those Mac 10s are as good as an AK almost, because at this level, everyone's aim is good enough. If a guy's ducking in that pit, you get him blind and you know he's there. Even if he's slightly moving, your aim's good enough to dink him pretty quick. You just hold mouse 1. So powerful.
Yeah, it's really... Oh wow, they're just going straight in for Guardian. Okay, the Mac 10 is pretty legit. Just like flashbacks to Vegas Squadron. Nico doesn't have a helmet as well, so he's pretty susceptible. Although Golden will switch out for the M4, but this is a very strong position for the 4v3 here for Fnatic. 1 minute 20 seconds left. FaZe have no info. Well, I suppose the best amount of information they have is Nico sort of spotting in from the short towards the squeaky door, perhaps waiting for a sound cue before he goes for a peek. And Carrigan is now investigating with Exist behind towards the bathrooms. FaZe know they have to be proactive in this position. They can't allow Fnatic to walk in 4v1 or 4v2. And there it is. Fnatic were waiting for it all along. Golden will catch exist. Oh, Karrigan, lucky to be alive.
Just about managing to get out. FaZe caught off guard by the no respect style from Fnatic with the 2 Mac 10s, but FaZe have given themselves a fighting chance. Does Nico go for the info on short B?
I love it.
He hears the footsteps above him.
Oh, okay. It's hard to tell him to keep walking there because he knows a team like Fnatic might just hold up and post. I don't know. Maybe if he really knew how low Karrigan was, I wonder if Karrigan calmed his health. Because if I'm Nico there and I know my teammate's low, I'm probably just going to try to flank there, realizing that he's going to lose the duel if they walk up A. If they go back B, I mean, I guess he can get the 1v1. It's never black and white with CS, but coulda, shoulda, woulda, hindsight. I got the X-ray mode here. I feel like a god.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's always a tough one. We have so much information. Sometimes it's a bit easy to forget.
Yeah, totally.
And that's actually sometimes what also makes it amazing is we have all this information, and sometimes you see the players who just clearly don't, but they still like are so smart to consistently make the best possible plays. And so the fact that we always have all the information, I feel like it's that situation where if we removed, you know, like the X-ray and a bunch of stuff, you know, throughout the entire round, and you watch them make these plays,
Yeah.
your mind would actually be blown by how little information they actually had, but still got the call right.
I could totally tangent this right now because I was curious about like broadcasting CS in general. Like I felt like in 1.6, and there was also wall bangs, but there's a lot more like wow factor. I felt like sometimes with plays because you couldn't see through walls. So you'd be like, whoa, like that guy just snapped that guy, snapped that guy, and everyone's like, if you don't do that, why are you even playing at this level? Like you're not.
Yeah.
Like... So, anyways, the tangent over. Eco round.
No, it's a good point. But Guardian, he's going to start things off well for FaZe, the only man with a strong weapon, and he is finding frags. Fnatic, do they want to double down on this, just keep going B, or do they want to respect Guardian? Ooh.
Gotta be real careful. Guardian's got 6 bullets left, pushing through the smoke, but Guardian's managed to hide in all of this. Oh, I think he might have seen someone, but completely blind. At some point with the flash blank, Guardian still lurks. Surely they've heard the scope. Crim's quicker on the trigger finger. Maybe that will save Fnatic. Guardian so dangerous on the B bomb site. There's a minute to play with, and Fnatic will feel very exposed. Crims has a smoke, but where does he put it?
Sandbag. Wait. Maybe? He said, nah. I'm just gonna kill you.
Crims is 14-2 right now.
Smoke on the site to give more space to plant the bomb. Oh, Karrigan spotted as well. It'll be really difficult now, but he's got nothing to lose. This 1 versus 2.
Nicely done by Crims. I have to say, in that last engagement as well, Crims could have re-peeked the pillar at the same angle for the player with the deagle. But he repositions, he delays a little bit, he wants to catch that player moving out. I think there's a lot of players who just say, hey, I'm going to win this duel. And he's been hot this game so far. But I think it really goes to show, I think we were talking yesterday about how some players, when they're on a hot streak, their tempo is always high. Whereas,
a little bit of a bloodlust, almost.
Yeah, exactly, like the bloodlust. And for Crims, he always is very good at like reassessing after every frag.
And you have to and go. Players like Force and stuff used to get away with it 1.6, and it was honestly a blast to watch. Force and Neo, they would like run up mid on Inferno, kill the Arch guy, and just plow all the way through A, and just get a 3K. But yeah, you have to respect the engine. And just the like you're saying, the pre-aim. Give the person time to guess if you're going to peek.
Yeah, I feel like Flasher, Crims, like these players are so smart with that. And this position from Exist, a very forward position, actually unaccounted for. Exist gets himself 2 frags off the rifle. Can he get out of there? That's the mission now. He can't, but he's done more than enough damage if you consider that. Only JW remains at this point, and this should be the second round on the board for FaZe, a much needed round. And maybe JW can do something magical.
They have enough AWPs already, so that's not a concern. Just needs to take money away from these CTs. Oh, okay. Could have been worse. Guardian will trade. 3 people survive, including both sniper rifles. That's something for FaZe, of course. They need to avert crisis now and get a consecutive round. And they may put Fnatic on eco if they're able to do that, it seems. It's a great second kill from Exist.
It's a pretty dirty off angle. Like, it's very hard to actually peek into it. It's very hard to trade it. And you're kind of like limited by the wall on your peak as a terrorist. It's pretty strong. And because he pushed with a teammate as well, they really didn't expect it. Rain in a very strong position as well. The AK can't quite find a good engagement just yet, but perhaps he can if he continues, and he will. That's another one. Well, that's the first one for him. He's lost his teammates in amongst the smoke. He needs to get more frags here. Rain doing damage, running out of bullets though.
You can see how he goes into that zone right when he knows he's backed in the corner. He like relaxes. It's like you could almost see his body language change. Like he relaxes his shoulder, his hands steady, and he's just like, feed me the one tap. So you saw the heads running into his crossing. It's really cool to see that.
It's nice the little movements as well, picturing in his head with certain timings where people are most likely to come from and where's the best place yourself for more than one opponent, perhaps. Exists with less than 10 HP from the short B position. As you wait for Nico to run distraction, do they commit to this? Nico's coming from the same position, so this is a disastrous situation for FaZe. They are facing the reset and they are risking losing all these weapons, but what's the higher priority? Gambling for this? Seems they'll have to go for it. They can't get any more round flashbangs there, but it's not good enough. Nico will have to run away. Oh, timing. Not there yet, FaZe. Not their match perhaps, but we'll see. Still time to play, and you can never count FaZe out.
Chaos, carnage. All kinds of business there towards the fountain early in the round. That's one of the reasons why Overpass is fun, so diverse. So many options for both teams on both sides. But FaZe, unfortunately, getting resets. Very sad, isn't it? This is looking really rough for them so far. It's kind of cool that we have like 4 Fnatic matches back to back, just because Fnatic are always entertaining, no matter what the match looks like, just due to the fact that their players are so good at just creating fun rounds. It's like fun mid-round spots and clutches, outsmarting opponents, all that kind of stuff. They're very good at that.
It's cool to see them doing well with Lecro and Golden.
Yeah.
These new guys in.
Yeah, Golden's a really good fragger as well, which people don't talk about, because obviously you just look at him like he's the in-game leader, but he's a good fragger. He's clutched a lot of rounds for Fnatic as well. A lot of rounds.
Yeah, I think people look into the statistics. I mean, they lean a little bit too hard into the fact that his rating is like less than 1 in a lot of events. But it's like, again, it like never really tells the full story, and especially with a team like Fnatic.
He probably, like, if you were to ask him, he probably wouldn't even care if his rating ever, on average, went over 1. Like, he wants to be good, but he's looking at the trophy cabinet, like.
Absolutely, yeah.
Impact frags, baby.
Yeah, definitely.
We were having a great convo on my stream the other day about this. Like, if a player goes 5-30, Stu was in there with me. Did he even have a bad match? Like, did you lose 16-14? Like, did they go, like, sure, that's a pretty poor score line. Like, that's probably a bad match, but, like, realistically, did he get shot in the side? Was he sacrificing himself every round? Did he win 5 clean duels and all the other deaths weren't even clean duels? Like, there's a lot more to each death, for sure, than people look at.
That's actually a really good point. Like a clean duel thing. Like, maybe you don't get another frag, but just your presence now in that one frag just maybe just disincentivizes the team from taking a bunch of different options.
I think that actually came from someone asking me a consistency question, which I get every day. Hey, Jordan, I go 20-10 this day and then 5-10. I was like, well, you're never going to be consistent unless you're literally like a better fragger than everyone on the server, if those are your only metrics. Yeah, what if you're going 10-15, but you won all of your duels, and your other bomb sites losing their frags, and then you have to rotate over? Just like it's happening right now to FaZe. Talked about some of their B players not having as much frags, when Rain's over here stealing all the work.
Yeah, that's what he does. He's cleaning up. No one even seems to be aware of his presence. He's just too godlike. They can't even see him.
He's ominous.
He's John Cena.
You can't see me. Yes, I'm done talking.
That is crazy. The consistency question is always a fun one. It's definitely like what everyone is always searching for, and it's a beautiful one because human beings aren't consistent. Like mechanically, like you're just gonna have off days sometimes. Yeah,
I started going off my rocker when people ask that question. I'm like, well, what did you eat that day? I was like, you could literally, if you really want to start this conversation, you could actually go down to like, did you plan a full stomach? Did you get enough sleep? Were you mad at your girlfriend? Like these things can all affect you. You really want to get down to the consistency. I'll break down your whole life right now for you, but like you're actually asking the wrong question. You're saying, how do I get more frags in the game?
Yeah,
and that's a completely different question.
That's a very good way to put it. Yeah.
You know, one day I was playing Zelda, right, and I accidentally launched a bomb arrow into my horse and blew it up and killed it. But I still was the beast on the servers, Jordan. I'm unstoppable.
I see what's going on.
What does it mean?
You're not judging your skills, right? You
know,
happen to kill
I
that
bet you're going to say like I was really upset, but no, it's fine. It's a virtual horse.
I think maybe
No
that
big deal. Got another horse.
maybe just like you're just one with the dark side, James. You have to kill someone really close to you, like and it like allows you to find your true strength. Who knows?
That's pretty dark, Dan.
I mean, it's the dark side, man. That's like,
Pretty
that's what you got to do. You got to.
I'm a big fan of Ares. I like Ares in Injustice. Pretty awesome character. Awkward. Exist spots a rat. He's got problems creating some space for himself, but it also creates space for the T side. Now, can Fnatic really capitalize on what's going on towards Monster? I don't know. Lecro still harassing.
And a great decision there by Fnatic. I just want to chime in and say they didn't flash long A. Normally you'd flash long because you're worried about an Opper, but they've already taken so much attention towards B that they don't want to give Guardian too much of a heads up. He's already deadly enough. Even last second like this, he's waiting, but they're able to get in the sight like that. Probably because they didn't throw too many early nades. At least gives them a chance to potentially bring back this 2v4 deficit. 2v5 actually. 3v5.
Guardian's trying to preserve himself as much as possible, keep the AWP in play, fall back, use a numbers game with FaZe, and they're on a trade from Exist, leaving Crims alone in a 1 versus 3. We've seen him do nastier things and worse odds. Nico slowly creeping in. He was ready for it, but this time Nico will win.
I see that a lot, right, Dan? Where you see players in a mid-round situation at a lower level, because every time a pro team takes long A and they throw that flash, they think, oh, that's just what you do every time you're here. But there's a lot of situational stuff. It's retaking sites, you see players just throw a nade for no reason. I'm like, they had no idea you were there. They didn't know the timing or anything until you threw that flash. Don't throw a nade unless it has a counter reaction from your teammates, right? Don't throw the molly unless someone's ready to kill the guy fleeing, etc. That kind of concept. It's weird how sometimes people use nades.
This is one of the bigger criticisms that Sean was mentioning when we watched Luminosity on Inferno. I forget which players it was, but they were just throwing nades, and you think about what the nade was supposed to be used for, and it doesn't really do anything. It's just kind of like this thing that they just do. It's like
almost like switching guns.
Yeah, it's like there's no thought to it. It's a waste.
Yeah. Another exciting B pistol round here to hit some running Glock shots as rain about to rain down.
He's about to precipitate
I haven't casted long, guys. Give me a break.
It'll come. It'll come.
Pew pew.
Keep rubbing it.
Nico in the CT water with his Glock. He's close range and he's dead. 3 Ts remain. Now it's Rain and Guardian. Oh dear, well, this is quite the round from Fnatic, isn't it?
Look at me, honey, I'm hang gliding, oh, I'm dead. Buddy crashers, anybody?
Ooh. No, I haven't seen that.
I felt it's a good time to insert a joke in the 1v5 there. I would have let you bring the hype if Buddy didn't buy it.
It's a very amusing film, Dan. I would recommend watching it.
Many laughs will ensue.
Very amusing film.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
4-12 here. Not looking too good from the boys from FaZe, but how much can we really judge them? I haven't been watching FaZe a lot. How many maps have they played as this? Do you guys have any idea?
We can bring up the leaderboard afterwards. I think it's
stick
2
around
or 4.
for that. Ooh, the little boosty, which probably won't avail to much as they only have Glocks. Do they have any flashes? No, and Flusha.
Oh, this could be good.
Ready to drop a big Flusha down the toilet.
Flush at toilets. There it is. On to the next one.
I'm level 1 face it with my references here. I need to update to level 10. You guys are like level 12 to 14. Casting level jokes.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I have consistency problems.
Yes.
I choose to make level 1 jokes sometimes. I like to just bring that cringe sometimes and just make people at home just feel that pain in their chest, you know, like, oh my god.
Like when you start talking about scabs for just like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You talk about scabs.
Peel the scab.
Peeling scabs. Brilliant.
Raiden beating the Molotov, and who is that at A? Are they aware of it? They did a cool B push. We used to do that on C9, but it doesn't matter. There's no one's out there. It looks like FaZe might be aware of this as they creep up A, but who's that left in the side? He's jump spot over there.
Lecro riddled the connector door from outside Monster now, so they've given the game away in that regard, and FaZe can maybe
Ooh,
capitalize on
this
it.
is not the gun.
Doesn't have the range with the MP9, but maybe trying to run distraction, manages to survive with his life, but under the counter flash. Oh, is he going to protect and kill? No, Guardian with 2.
That smoke, which I think came in from JW, is literally the MVP of the round there if Golden gets 2. Because that literally created a dichotomy for the entrance to the bomb site. Without that, what James said was the distance. The distance stopped becoming a factor because that smoke forced the T's to either run the wide route or run close along the wall, which immediately gave him a chance at a double kill and maybe even kept him alive in this round.
Oh, they're actually getting some frags as they re-enter, and there is a kill on Crims, so it can't come out just yet. Right now, as they start to push forwards down to Crims, and he's an absolute god still, 1v1. That bomb ticking away, just enough time, he taps it. Will he go for the hold? No. Oh! How does he always get this? Crazy. This guy is just unreal.
Freddie Crims Jr., that's my new nickname for him.
The other times I've like casted him just 1v3 clutching on this bomb site, it just happens all the time.
Absolute animal is Crims. I think I was just really unlucky not to get the second kill there. I fully expected it to come, but you got Crims, man.
I'm surprised this peaked. Maybe because the smoke was up, he just felt like maybe the guy would be able to tap or something. Because that's an easy 1v2 if this doesn't peak there.
The craziest thing is that Crims is
2v1, rather.
19-7. Obviously, he's beasting. But Golden's 17-8. What's Golden been doing? He's getting loads of frags as well.
He's been putting it out there. He's out there, man. Hashtag Skadoodle. He's out there.
He out there.
Never coming off.
Love me some Skadoodle. Oh, flusher off too. Man, this is just like psychological warfare at this point. You can't even stand somewhere.
This is my favorite type of Fnatic to watch. Like when it's like, because I mean, Fnatic are like this, the team where when they're dominant, they're just so good. They're just so dominant, and it just empowers them even more. And so when we have Dave just like this, where it's just Fnatic matches all over the place, it's just so fun to see. Like who can stop them, and what does it take? What does it take to actually stop them? Because right now they look really imperious. They look very good. I mean, look at that. Flush is just. I'm just gonna push you guys down. 1v1.
Hey, Rain, are you good at Counter-Strike? I'm just gonna swing.
They have to be extremely frustrated right now.
Yeah.
Extremely frustrated.
Rough game, for sure.
And it's one of 2 games.
And,
it's one of 2.
How long is this supposed to be with him? Because, you know, if it's...
We don't know.
We don't know?
Yeah.
Because, like, how many maps could they have really found comfort on yet?
Mirage is the next one.
Oh, okay. That'll be interesting.
Oh, that will be a lot of fun.
All these players on their different iterations of teams have been good on Mirage, so...
It's the trade. So Nico in the 1 versus 4 with 8 seconds on the clock, and it seems he will run to his doom. Oh! A short highlight in shrouded in disaster and misery. Depression, squalor.
Yeah, his holes in his jeans just got a little bit bigger than
Yeah, man, they are expanding. This is the thing. This is why I don't understand why people buy jeans like this.
Seeing a whole lot of knee there, Dan.
I know, it's just
A whole lot of
If
knee.
you really want to fit
Bloody
into
knees.
culture, I feel like you need to only wear joggers with the Ultra Boost, and you need to convert to some kind of like hipster Toms with the torn jeans.
It's true. It's true.
You really want to be a Californian for a couple months.
Yeah, I've messed it up, haven't I?
Now,
Gotta fix this.
I don't know if I'm gonna eat food near you anymore.
It's really weird here. People, it's so different. Like this particular area, how like everyone dresses and stuff is a lot more street.
Actually, stay as far away from me as you can. Remain wholesome.
Remain wholesome. Stay wholesome, lads. That's not something James would say, but fast push here into the A side. Looks promising for FaZe. Very promising indeed, but Lekko and Flusher are left alive. And their money can't be horrendous. It is horrendous. Well,
It's not great.
it's not great. I think horrendous it would be worse than this.
Yes. They have too many zeros for it to be horrendous.
It's true.
Round number 5 for FaZe. A long road to come back, but maybe even if they are to lose this, obviously the odds of that are high. If they could string some rounds together, at least it would get them out of the memory of rampant failure and domination from their opponent. If they can have some success.
That's a thought.
Bring the spirits up.
Remember the old Fnatic guys 1.6? I remember Karn always was kind of a firm believer. If he got crushed and he was at game point in a best of 3, he would just make sure his boys went into more of an autopilot mode. He's like, let's just grab the back, but don't put pressure on yourselves. Just so the next map we have all of our vitality ready to kind of crush them. And I don't know. Maybe you can go both ways. SK seems to take it, you know, don't get pushed over the edge until we do. You know, keep fighting and maintain that kind of fight from start to finish, rather.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's different approaches, I guess.
I can really see that the differences there culturally, actually, as well. Like, I think that's probably a big impact as to how you would want to do it.
That's interesting. That would be a really interesting combo. Some of these things would be like to actually have sample case studies and actual, like, beyond our anecdotal conversations. And Nico giving Electro a little anecdotal bullet. Kerrigan trying to say, hey guys, I'm here too.
It's like the image, just Nico just running in, just one bullet, bye, run out again.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to lift the spirits. They're on the AKs now, but have they waited too long? A nice off angle from Golden. Gets himself 2.
Ooh.
Wasn't expecting the 3rd player, but a fighting chance he has given them.
Like, I feel like if he knows there's 3 coming and gets the 3rd kill, that was a really nice spot.
Yeah, he didn't take any damage before the first 2, pretty much.
It's a real nice spot. Now, FaZe will go into the B-bomb site. Nico spotted moving forwards by JW. Will that cause a rotation? Or will JW be left to his own devices to try to 1v3 this? He knows exactly what's going on. Nico rotating behind the flames. Can JW... Ooh, just able to get the instant smoke down, but can't get out of dodge in time. Gets chased out, down and out. Flusher now in the 1v3. Able to do some good work to get further forward as the bomb is planted, but the double peek is very nice from FaZe.
And I just want to chime in and say that's another great play by Nico right there. So if you saw what happened, JW's on the right there and he spotted him. When Nico knew that JW was in a position and where he couldn't see what Nico was doing, and Nico's so low, just by Nico like shooting a bullet and then falling back was so smart, because JW has to respect that person's there, and then eventually gets pinched by a ghost because no one was there anymore, and the 2 guys just flank him with that worry. And I feel like at a lower level, a lot of players might just go out monster there because they're like, hey, my team's running out sandbag and short, I gotta go with them. But no, you're only a detriment going out with such low health, cause a distraction, and then stay alive. 1 HP alive is much more than not being there, you know? So, it's a great play by Nico. Knowing how to die is a big skill set that a lot of pros have, and I think it's a very underrated topic. I hope CS is alive in like 30 years and we have like manuscripts on this stuff.
Yeah.
Words printed in the tablets.
The fires of Bardolph will go down in flames, and it'll be the Library of Alexandria.
All my texts will be sunken in a trench.
You take them with you scuba diving, the last scuba trip. Never come back. Maybe you'll discover Atlantis, the lost city of Atlantis, James, on your scuba trips.
There's already coordinates for that.
Bardolph.
If you watch that Disney movie, they've already found it. So just kind of rewatch. They have the... Oh, is it Disney? It's a great movie. Did you guys ever watch that animated movie of Atlantis?
No.
I loved it.
I don't do Disney.
Okay, well, I've never come back to ECS again.
Why do you hate your happiness, James?
Too many pretty bright colours and big eyes. It's weird. Gives me nightmares, all those big eyes. Lines, I can talk and things like that. What's going on?
Atlantis is super cool. Anyways, 15-7, Counter-Strike, Global Offensive.
I want to go back in time to before this conversation. B push.
Is that not it? Yeah.
Getting in there. They're getting it in there. Whilst it's good, whilst the going's good, but the going's actually terrible. Necro is going to annihilate everyone, including his teammates. He cares not.
Well, I should get out of my way. I'm trying to kill this.
Guardian looking for something. He's lurking with an AWP. Well, he's last man standing on the B-bomb site. He's carrying the bomb as well. The tag won't be enough. 16-7, Fnatic with a dominant match of